Excellency the Deputy Governor, and by the grace of God, the incoming Governor of Kaduna State, Senator Rufai, who is also here with me. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me begin by expressing my profound gratitude to the honorable members of the Kaduna House of Assembly for the opportunity to address you today. I recall vividly the warmth of the reception when I first entered this chamber as governor on 10th of June 2015, less than 2 weeks after we took office. During that first visit, I was able to update this House on the preliminary findings from the briefings we began receiving from ministries, departments, and agencies in our first week in office. I concluded my update by requesting a constructive partnership between the three arms of the Kaduna State government with the important task of improving the well-being of our people and delivering progressive outcomes for them. Mr. Speaker, right honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to say that the Kaduna State House of Assembly has been a positive partner in the last 7 years. There may have been a few storms and stresses along the way, but the honorable members of this House have been supportive of our efforts to reform governance and build the foundations for a new era of progress and development in Kaduna State. We have signed many executive bills over the last 7 years, and this House has commendably discharged its duty of enacting vital legislation. I wish to register my personal gratitude and that of the government and people of Kaduna State for the 140 laws so far enacted by this House in the last 7 years, which I think is a national record. I stand before this House today for the final time as Governor with immense gratitude to Almighty Allah for the work He has enabled us to do, working together to uplift Kaduna State. We have since May 2015 erected the platform for Kaduna State to take off. Rooted firmly in new laws and a robust approach to governance, our reform efforts have been about putting people first. That is, by prioritizing the delivery of public goods that build human capacity, that improve public well-being, and that promote equality of opportunity for all the residents of our dear state. In 2015, Mr. Speaker, sir, we committed ourselves to develop human capital by investing in education, healthcare, and social welfare. Institute a good governance system that is service, foster security, maintain, rebuild, and expand infrastructure, including water supply, electricity, and road networks. To accelerate economic growth that will create jobs and more jobs. Promote agriculture and food security, and reform land administration as a basis for wealth creation and capital formation, while preserving and enhancing environmental management. We have been successful in accomplishing much of our governance agenda. Our governance attainments were achieved amidst considerable hurdles and challenges. Fiscal challenges threatened our ambitions, but we tapped into other funding sources to help us implement some of our projects. Security challenges and the consequences of a pandemic and 2 national recessions have also proven to be severe limiters. But we have persevered in doing the work needed to make the future of Kaduna State more glorious than its past. This government has worked to make healthcare more accessible. Each of our 255 wards now has a staffed and equipped primary health care center. We have installed solar power in some of them, enabling those ones to offer 24-hour services. All our primary health centers are run by the same primary health care board which this Honorable House established by law to help standardize the level of care residents can expect. We have upgraded secondary health facilities and rural hospitals and staff strength. We made the necessary investment to secure accreditations for Barodico Teaching Hospital as a teaching hospital and for the clinical program of the Kaduna State University. This enabled CASU to begin graduating medical doctors rather than having to send medical students to Uganda, which the former government was doing for clinical training. These improvements in healthcare have helped to make pregnancy less hazardous for mothers and children alike. We are reducing maternal and infant mortality and enabling more women to give birth with trained personnel in attendance. Immunization coverage has been expanded to protect more children against vaccine-preventable diseases. We have supported the Kaduna Health Supplies Management Agency, another agency that this House established by law, to provide our health facilities with the required medicines and other consumables. Hard-to-reach areas are already being served through delivery by drone, courtesy of our partnership with Zipline of the USA. The contributory health insurance scheme we introduced in 2018 is helping enrollees to access health care without incurring out-of-pocket expenses. Mr. Speaker, right honorable members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to inform you that Kaduna State is poised for recognition as a center for specialist medical services, particularly cancer treatment. We have signed an agreement with an international firm to manage the 300-bed specialist hospital, which is nearing completion. We have the funding of Islamic Development Bank for a nuclear medicine center there, in addition to another cancer center being established by the Barodico Teaching Hospital by the National Sovereign Investment Authority. No doubt, this will help reduce medical tourism to India, Egypt, and other countries. By the grace of God, Mr. Speaker, sir, before the end of next year, Kaduna State will be the center of the treatment of cancer in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. This government has undertaken similar efforts to expand access to education. We introduced free basic education for the first 12 years. We introduced free education for the first 12 years of schooling, from primary 1 to the completion of SS3. We launched a program to renovate schools, provide furniture and sanitation, increase the number of classrooms, and build new schools where necessary. We have not reached all the 4,256 public primary schools in the state, but we have mitigated the worst instances, like in Rigasawa, in one primary school, over 20,000 pupils were being taught in tents. We are consistently trying to improve teacher quality and training standards in our public schools to ensure that pupils graduating from our schools have the skills and knowledge to enable them successfully climb the ladder of opportunity and social mobility. Mr. Speaker, sir, this focus on human capital development explains why education and health have consistently had the highest allocations in all the budget estimates we presented to this Honorable House. We have accompanied this with social welfare initiatives like Kaduna State Women Empowerment Fund, CATSWED, the Kaduna State Startup Entrepreneurship Development Fund, CATSTED, the School Feeding Program, in collaboration with the federal government through the Social Investment Office on various social support programs. Kaduna State has so far enrolled into the State Social Register almost 3 million poor and vulnerable persons from 778,662 households in all the 23 local governments of the state. Our program to register the residents of the state has so far enrolled 5.3 million persons and linked them to NIN. This is slightly more than half of the estimated population of the state, but it is one of the highest rates of identity registration in the country. Mr. Speaker, right honorable members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are especially delighted that our investment drive has been successful in bringing new businesses to the state. Private investors have poured billions of dollars into our state in businesses like hatchery and feed mill, livestock ranching and dairy, iron and steel, tomato processing, fertilizer blending, pharmaceuticals, automobile assembly, ICT, housing schemes, shopping malls and markets. These are all new investments that did not exist during the 16 years of rule by that other party. These businesses are creating direct and indirect jobs and bringing new skills to the state. As you are aware, the African Development Bank has selected Kaduna State as one of the 8 states in which a special agro-industrial processing zone will be built and run. This will help to further leverage on our endowments in agriculture in developing our state. This investment drive has been accompanied by massive investment in infrastructure to improve the well-being of residents and encourage economic competitiveness. The Urban Renewal Program, which we launched in 2019, is an unprecedented investment in infrastructure upgrade and expansion in our 3 major cities, Kaduna, Kafanchan, and Zaria. Many of the other renewal projects have been completed and commissioned for everyone to see. Several other projects await completion, and we seek the cooperation of this House to enable the completion of as many of them as we can. Of course, government is a continuous process, and the work of urban renewal is only just starting. With the support of this House, we have enacted laws to create metropolitan authorities to manage each of these 3 major cities as organic entities, maintain the municipal infrastructure, and build more as required. The Urban Renewal Program extends the investment in rural trunk and feeder roads we made in our first term in office. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have completed the Zaria Water Project. We have signed an MOU with the federal government for the Greater Kaduna Water Supply Project. This entails the federal government building the ETC dam, while Kaduna State government will build the water treatment plant and the infrastructure to deliver the treated water to homes and businesses. By the grace of God, when this project is completed by the next administration, the shortage of water in Kaduna Metropolis will be a thing of the past. We hope to complete an 84-megawatt thermal power plant before we leave office next year. The 2 gas turbines required for the project are being shipped from the United Arab Emirates as we speak. Kaduna State is also part of the project to build 100 megawatts of solar power in each of the 19 northern states and the FCT. One of our earliest decisions was to establish the Kaduna Geographic Information Service (KAGIS) to manage land administration in the state. KAGIS has digitized the land registry and enabled residents to get valid land titles through systematic property registration and the recertification program. The work run by KAGIS has enabled me to sign over 50,000 certificates of occupancy since 2016. This is an unprecedented record not only in the state but in the country as a whole. We have done all this in an environment that has compelled us to spend more money on security than a subnational would under normal circumstances. It is our earnest hope that ongoing military operations will be sustained to enable our people live in peace, farm in peace, do their business in peace, worship in peace, and relax in peace. As a progressive government, we have promoted women and young people into positions of responsibility. Today, Mr. Speaker, with your support, our Kaduna State Executive Council has more female commissioners than men. This is historical and has never been achieved anywhere in Nigeria. We have enacted laws for child welfare and protection, initiated public service reforms, paid 14 billion naira of arrears of gratuity and death benefits inherited from that other party, and tried to run a decent contributory pension scheme. We are the first government to pay the new national minimum wage, following which we also raised to 30,000 the minimum monthly pension for retirees from the old defined benefit system. Our government has structured a mortgage and foreclosure system for the state. We are implementing an unprecedented transfer of wealth to traders at the Sheikh Abubakar Guru market and many markets across the state, where we insist that traders should own their shops rather than rent them from middlemen. Our government, across the state, we are building new markets, a total of 23 new markets in all, and empowering traders with single-digit interest mortgages to be able to pay for them comfortably. Mr. Speaker, right honorable members, a review of budget performance since our first full budget in 2016 indicates that the 2021 budget, that's last year's budget performance, was 97%. This is the highest ever in the history of the state, and indeed the highest ever in the history of Nigeria. In fact, our second-term budget performance has never been less than 73%, recorded in 2020, largely because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Budget performance was 92% in 2019, dipped to 73% in 2020 due to COVID-19, before recovering to 97% in 2021. I will now, Mr. Speaker, go into the draft budget of 2023, which we call the budget of continuous growth and development.